Welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is your preview. Premier League Arsenal take on Manchester City this Sunday in one of the games that should be defining for Mikel Arteta, but also for Pep Guardiola as well. It's a game that tests to know where you actually are. If you're Arsenal, you beat Manchester City, you get a good result against them. Well, that really tells you a lot about your squad and about your capabilities this campaign as well. For Manchester City, the last time we played them, we beat them 5-1. And I think what they really want to know is, were they just bad last campaign, or it is a declining trend they've got to stop. So it's gonna be a very interesting one. Pep Guardiola has been talking about this game, especially Arsenal, and he said if Arsenal win the Premier League this season, it won't be because they've done well, it won't be because of the hard work, it's because of the money they have spent. And I was quite very amused by the words. Pep Guardiola is not one guy to come out and say such statements, but that's what he said, that if Arsenal win the Premier League this season, it won't be because of the hard work, it will be because we spent a lot of money last summer. And he said the same applies to Liverpool as well. We're talking to Mikel Arteta's press conference. He's talked about the injuries. William Saliba is willing and able to play in this game. He's been pushing. He's had that injury. Obviously, Christian Skerra has come in and done a very great job. But in this game, with the likes of Erling Haaland, potentially Jeremy Doku, and maybe Omar Mamouche could be around, you want to have William Saliba and Gabriel as part of your backline. We'll be talking about the starting 11. Who do I want to see in the starting 11? How do you approach City? Because it's different. The Manchester City that we have known for the last 5 years is different, right? This is not a Manchester City team that typically look to possess the ball and just suffocate you. They have more ingredients to the team. They've got more ingredients to their playing style. You look at the likes of Tijani Reinders, the likes of Jeremy Doku playing a very key role in the team. And that tells you you're not playing the old Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. You're playing the new Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Let me know your prediction, because this one is difficult, isn't it? I would love to go for an Arsenal win straight away, but when I think about it, I'm like, okay, give me a second. Do Arsenal really go and win this game as direct as that? I'm a little bit suspicious, and the reason that's why I'm suspicious is because of the attack. I think defensively we find a way in this game. I think in terms of midfield, Declan Rice, Tijani Reinders, Lodri, Martin Zubimendi, Phil Foden, the likes of Eze, they could cancel each other out. The question is, if it came down to the attack, if Haaland got 2 chances in this game and Gyökeres got 2 chances in this game, do I really trust Gyökeres, Madueke, and Eze or Martinelli to actually go and win this game for us over an attack of Doku, Erling Haaland, and Bernardo Silva, and Omar Mamouche, and all these other guys? Do I really trust my attack? I'm a little bit skeptical, but I'm still going to go with an Arsenal win. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win. I think Arsenal come into this game very prepared defensively, and we beat Manchester City 1-0, and we walk away with the 3 points, and that is all that matters. In terms of the injuries, Mikel Arteta has been talking about who is available and who is not, and he said with Odegaard, Saka, and Ben White, they haven't really done a lot of work that really warranties them access to this game or availability in this game. And I'm not worried at all. Like, I'm not really worried that we do not have Odegaard in this game. I'm not worried that we don't have Ben White, and I'm not worried that we don't have Saka. Of course, Saka, you think about Saka, obviously, in such games, he's a big game player. He performs, he shows up, he's one player you can rely on, he's one player you can trust to actually to actually deliver, to actually show up. So without Saka, Arsenal are an inch lighter, right? But that is the reason as to why Madueke is here. That is the reason as to why you have Trossard in the squad. That is the reason as to why we have all these, the likes of Max Downman, the likes of Ethan Wanyeri, and they've done a very good job last campaign. So we've got to trust them. So in terms of injuries, the big one is William Saliba. William Saliba is more likely than not to make an appearance in this game. In fact, Mikel Arteta has been talking about the chances of William Saliba playing in this one, and he said he's been pushing, he's been trying, and of course the last game he was on the bench, so won't be surprised if he's in this game, but he will be assessed again today to see if he's gonna be fit. That is what Mikel Arteta said of William Saliba. Now for me, I want him to be part of the team. Even if he's not starting, I want him to be part of the team, because maybe 20 minutes into this game, maybe Haaland is too much for Cossy. Maybe 30 minutes into this game, maybe you get a red card and you want to, and your strategy is just defending to walk away with the point. So I want him to be part of this game. But also, I've not seen a better centre back than Saliba when it comes to dealing with Erling Braut Haaland. I've not seen one better. I think he's got a PhD. He has graduated with the highest class mark sheet you can think of when it comes to, silencing those top class strikers, especially Erling Braut Haaland. So Saliba, the good news is he could be around. Now, this would be my starting 11 against Manchester City, and I'm going to explain why later, because we're going to talk about how we can beat this Manchester City team, what are the weaknesses in this team, and what are some of the strengths that we've got to be very, very wary about. Raya stays in goal. I don't have any problems with them. And Julian Timber stays at right back. He's fit. I wouldn't really risk Ben White coming into this game. Obviously, when you think about Manchester City right now, their philosophy has changed a little bit. You think about Doku and the important role that he actually plays, in this Manchester City team. I don't trust Ben White with Doku. I trust Julian Timber with Doku. And I also think that Timber's got the presence of mind and the awareness to track Jeremy Doku every single second, every single minute. So I'm going to go with Julian Timber at right back. Ricardo Calafiori at left back, definitely not. I'm going with Mauro Lewis-Kelly. And the reason that's why you want to go with Mauro Lewis-Kelly in this game is simple. Reliability, trust, and for me, he's better defensively. I don't know whether I'm over-exaggerating. I don't know whether I'm underestimating Calafiori. But what we know is Calafiori is vulnerable in 1v1 situations. So if you asked me, who would I go with? Definitely Miles Lewis-Kelly at left back. This could be one game, and then we go back to normal. We go back when we play Olympiacos in midweek. It's okay. You can play Ricardo Calafiori at left back. But in this game, in this particular instance, for Mikel Arteta, as a manager that understands the strengths and weaknesses of your players, you've got to play Miles Lewis-Kelly at left back. There's no question about that. And it's regardless of who Manchester City play there. He could choose to play Doku and Savinho. You want a defensive player that can, give you defensive results against that pair. At centre-back, I think Christian Mosquera and Gabriel Magalhaes have given me enough reason to believe that they're the ones. Although, like I said, if William Saliba is fit 100%, I'm sorry, Christian Mosquera. I'm really, really sorry. I do love you. But when it comes to William Saliba, he's a non-negotiable. If Liverpool dare try to replace Van Dijk and they don't think about William Saliba, they are mad. They're absolutely mad. That is the one player that I look at and I'm like, he's the next Virgil van Dijk in the Premier League, isn't he? Strong, solid, young, brave, intelligent, and fast. Those are qualities, and he's also very, very calm, by the way, on the ball and off the ball as well. So for me, he's a player that on such an occasion, especially without Saka and Odegaard, you want him as part of the team, especially the fact that he's had that partnership with Gabriel Magalhaes against Erling Haaland before. In midfield, it should be pretty easy. And we've seen Mikel Merino so many times this season, and many people have told me on the channel, by the way, thank you so much for the reception. Many people have told me, well, Cossy, Merino is not working well. Well, there's a reason as to why Mikel Merino is playing in this team, and I'm going to explain it in this game, right? So, my midfield three would be Mikel Merino, Martin Zubimendi, and Declan Rice. Yeah, I know what's going on in your mind. You're like, what? Cossy, that is really, really too defensive. But when you're playing against Manchester City, especially under Pep Guardiola, you want stability. You want to make sure that you don't give them a chance to do any kind of light work and profit from it. So the reason as to why you're seeing Mikel Merino and Zubimendi playing together, Merino is the complements Zubimendi. He's like the complementarity, part of Martin Zubimendi. So think about Martin Zubimendi, right? He's really technical, loves to pass, and can pass. It's as simple as that. His ball progression as well through the lines is excellent, and he utilizes the middle of the park as efficiently as possible. That is okay. But when you think about Mikel Merino on the other end, he's actually different. He's physical. Zubimendi is not. He's very, very protective of the ball. Like, he doesn't take risks. And that is not Martin Zubimendi, obviously. And also, he provides that cover. Think about it in this way. Rodrigo de Paul and Messi. Whenever Messi is on the ball, Rodrigo de Paul is just like a policeman trying to make sure that no one comes close to Messi. So Merino has that kind of role. Obviously, he's got this other role of just making sure that he makes those runs into the penalty area, and we always create that overload of a 5-against-4 in attack. That is one of his other roles. But primarily, and why you saw that Martin Zubimendi could go and score that kind of header that he actually scored is because he knows he's got that presence of mind that behind me there is a guy called Mikel Merino. If I go a few steps forward, he will retract a few steps backward. So Mikel Merino for me starts in this game alongside Declan Rice, alongside Zubimendi, and that means stability. And then on the attacking end, it means we can go full attack. So this is a game where, honestly, I wouldn't play Eberechi Eze. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wouldn't play Eberechi Eze in this game because why would I? Why would we play Eberechi Eze against Manchester City? We want to exploit space in behind. We want to run as fast as possible. So it's Madueke, it's Martinelli, it is Victor Gyökeres. That is my front three. And that is a front three I am sure is going to cause a lot of problems to this Manchester City defense. Because that is speed. That is agility. Effectiveness, maybe not so much. The only reason actually I would play Eze on the attack in this game is effectiveness. Because I think, is he a better finisher than Martinelli and Gyökeres? No, he ain't. I think Gyökeres is a much better finisher, but he's got this very traditional kind of football that I do not like. But again, with Gyökeres starting this game, he's going to keep defenders occupied, and that leaves a lot of space for Madueke to run into, and that leaves a lot of time for the likes of Gabriel Martinelli to run into space, get found, and create some beautiful magic. So, how is it going to play out, and how do Arsenal win this game? Well, this is a different Manchester City side as compared to what we used to, as compared to the Manchester City side that you know, right? Before this game, this would be our mentality about Manchester City. They're coming to possess and pass and pass and pass and pass and pass. And if you somehow break down their passing lanes, if you somehow stop them from this rampant passing, you have a chance. Well, that is now different. When they played Manchester United, City scored 3 goals in that game, and they created a million more chances. But there was something that I noticed, and something we noticed as well, when they played Napoli in midweek. They're not a team that is really obsessed with possession anymore, they can actually hurt you in more ways than one. And I was talking to one of my friends. He's a Liverpool fan, and I was telling him that the one reason as to why I'm really afraid of Liverpool right now is they can hurt you in more ways than you can imagine. On the transition, they've got Isak, Ekitike, Salah, Soboslai, these loyal soldiers that have got speed. The amount of time it takes Liverpool to run from one end of the pitch to the other, they need to be investigated. They are using drugs. And that is what Manchester City are right now. You look at Tijani Reinders, you look at Phil Foden, you look at Jeremy Doku, you think about Erling Haaland. That is athleticism. That is, they've got the ability to just switch from defensive mode into attacking mode. And there is that one ball they usually play over the top, and it will beat you because they've got Erling Haaland, who is quick and very ruthless when it comes to him in the final third. And that's how they beat Manchester United. That's how they kind of annihilated Manchester United. So the changes you'll see is this is a Manchester City side that are happy to play without the ball. This is a Manchester City side that are happy to sit in shape and wait for them to get the ball, and they use their technical ability to find runners and runners that can hurt you. This is a Manchester City side that is not only looking to do short passes, but they've got a lot of energy in that midfield to carry Tijani Reinders, like I said, but of course you've got the likes of Phil Foden, ball carriers. And what that means is if you lose the ball, they can easily create mini counterattacks and you're not going to survive. So how do Arsenal win this game? One, like I've already said, if you get a chance, take it. It's as simple as that. Number two, the press has to be effective. Our press has got to be as effective as possible, right? And then for me, the third and most important way of beating Manchester City, even if you don't press them very well, is simple. I think our PPDA in this game is going to have to be excellent than ever. Do not allow them a lot of time on the ball. Like from minute one, we've got to be aggressive. From minute one, it's going to be war. It's got to be war. Otherwise, they will find a way. But I think Arsenal will sit deep. This is Mikel Arteta, right? He will sit deep. Invite Manchester City, invite the pressure, maybe catch them on the break, win a penalty, maybe it's a corner, maybe it's a free kick, it's a dead ball situation, there is a header in there, and maybe we win 1-0, and we can, chase Liverpool for now. Hit the like button, speak to you soon.